So you want to own a used car, just one, for yourself, nothing entrepreneurial about it. Here's the strange part. The moment you buy it, you're not really avoiding cost. You're just choosing which decade of cost to inherit because someone already paid the brutal part of the bill before you ever showed up. So here's what this one covers. What a cheap car actually costs across its lifetime. The two expenses that never make it into your mental math. Why the used car market is basically built around a math trick everyone quietly agrees to play. And two ownership paths, one modest, one flagship, with the real 5-year numbers laid out. Start at the bottom. Tier 1 is the budget beater, $3,000 to $10,000, 10 to 18 years old, a couple 100,000 miles already on it, a 2011 Corolla, a 2012 Civic, a car that has already absorbed 70 to 90% of its lifetime depreciation, so it barely loses value from here, though it'll cost you $1,200 to $1,800 a year in repairs to keep it alive. Tier 2 is the core mid-market, $12,000 to $25,000, 5 to 9 years old, 40 to 85,000 miles, a 2018 RAV4, a 2019 F-150, a 2020 CR-V, losing $1,500 to $2,500 a year in value while maintenance stays predictable, $800 to $1,200 annually. Tier 3 is late model and certified pre-owned, $26,000 to $45,000, 1 to 4 years old, a 2022 Tesla Model 3, a 2023 BMW 3 Series, where you dodged the brutal first-year drop but still lose $3,000 to $4,500 a year. And if it's an EV, the 5-year depreciation curve runs 48 to 70%, so you're buying something that's still actively evaporating. Tier 4 is luxury and exotic, $50,000 to $120,000 and up, a Porsche 911, a Range Rover, heavily discounted off its original sticker, sure, but carrying $1,500 to $3,500 a year in repairs and $5,000 to $10,000 a year in straight depreciation, which is a strange kind of bargain. Now, two costs nobody mentions when they're picturing themselves driving off the lot. First, financing on a used car is punishingly more expensive than financing a new one, and almost nobody budgets for it. Average used auto loan rates sit at 11.26% to 11.43% across all credit tiers, compared to 6.37% to 6.39% for new. And if your credit is subprime, you're looking at 19.42%, meaning a $27,000 loan at 11.4% over 5 years adds more than $8,600 in pure interest. You're not just paying for the car, you're paying a second, quieter tax for the crime of it being used. Second, the paperwork fee that has nothing to do with the car and everything to do with which state you happen to live in. California caps dealer documentation fees at $85, New York at $175, and Florida just lets the market decide, where dealers routinely charge $999 to almost $1,300 for what is functionally printing. Now the actual mechanic of all of this, and it's simpler than it looks. A new car loses 20 to 30% of its value the moment it leaves the lot, then another 10 to 15% a year after that, adding up to 50 to 60% gone in 5 years. So buying used isn't really getting a car, it's paying someone else to eat that first catastrophic drop for you. Run the numbers on one clean comparison. A new midsize SUV costs $45,000 and is worth $18,000 in 5 years, a $27,000 loss. The same SUV, bought 3 years old for $25,000, is worth $12,000 in 5 years, a $13,000 loss. That's $14,000 of depreciation you simply didn't absorb. And even after subtracting $2,500 for the extra repairs an older car tends to need, you're still $11,500 ahead, $2,300 a year, just for letting someone else own the car during its worst years. So operationally, this isn't a business extracting money from you through a building or a system. It's a market extracting money from whoever bought first and rewarding whoever bought second, which is a strange thing to build an entire industry around, but here we are. And this is exactly why smart, careful buyers still lose money on paper. Interest rates spike, and every used loan on the market gets more expensive overnight. A manufacturer slashes new car prices, and every comparable used model loses value the same afternoon with zero warning and zero relationship to how well you maintain the thing. Wholesale valuation indexes can drop 20% off their highs and drag private resale equity down with them, regardless of your car's condition. You didn't do anything wrong. The ground moved under the asset. Look at 3 real outcomes. A 2019 Toyota Tacoma, bought used in 2022 for $28,000, driven 45,000 miles over 3 years, depreciates only about $4,000 total, costs under $2,500 in maintenance, and lands the owner under $2,200 a year in total cost of ownership. Toyota trucks retain 60 to 65% of their original sticker after 5 years, which is about as close to a sure thing as this asset class gets. Now, look at Hertz, not a private buyer, but the same physics at corporate scale. Committing to over 30,000 Tesla Model 3s at roughly $42,000 each near the 2021 peak, no fleet discount, only to watch Tesla slash new prices in 2023 and 2024 and drag used Tesla values down 48 to 70%, sending depreciation per vehicle to $422 a month, forcing a $245 million loss in a single quarter and contributing to a $2.9 billion net loss for the year. And then there's the quieter failure mode. A 6-year-old flagship luxury sedan, originally $95,000, bought used for $28,000, looking like a steal, until the air suspension and electronic modules start failing out of warranty, racking up $2,500 to $4,000 a year in repairs, on top of $3,500 of ongoing depreciation, until the total annual cost quietly matches or beats what a brand new mainstream car would have cost. The discount was real, it just wasn't the whole story. So here's the paradox restated. The depreciation math is completely reliable. Someone loses a predictable chunk of value in year 1, and someone else gets to skip it. But everything wrapped around that math, interest rates, manufacturer pricing, out-of-warranty parts failing on their own schedule, is not reliable at all. Which means the smartest financial decision in the entire transaction is also the one most exposed to forces that have nothing to do with the car. Consider 2 5-year ownership paths. The modest one, a 2014 Corolla or Civic, 10 years old, 110,000 miles, bought outright for $8,500, no financing. Over 5 years, you lose $3,500 in depreciation, spend $8,750 on fuel, $7,000 on insurance, $6,000 on maintenance and repairs, $1,250 on tax and registration. Total cost of ownership, $26,500, or $5,300 a year, 35 cents a mile. The flagship one, a 2023 Tesla Model Y, 2 years old, 25,000 miles, bought for $32,000 with $5,000 down and a $27,000 loan at 11.26%, which alone adds $8,620 in interest over 5 years, at $16,000 in depreciation, $3,000 in charging costs, $12,000 in insurance, $38,000 in tax and fees. Total cost of ownership, $47,920, or $95.84 a year, 64 cents a mile. Nearly double per mile for the newer, quieter, faster car. So you bought used to dodge the depreciation everyone warned you about, and technically you did. You just didn't dodge the dozen other bills that were waiting quietly behind it the whole time.